In 1975, America was changing day by day. Car radios, roadside diners, and weekend parties were all filled with fresh new music. Even as the disco era exploded, there were still songs that shined only once, yet left a lasting impression on the hearts of millions. Today, let's look back at 10 forgotten one-hit wonders from 1975 and discover why they're still worth listening to nearly 50 years later. Number 1. How Long? Ace. When many people first heard How Long, they assumed it was a love song about betrayal in a relationship. In reality, singer-songwriter Paul Carrack wrote the song after discovering that Ace's bass player had secretly recorded with another band without telling the rest of the group. That disappointment inspired heartfelt lyrics that were vague enough for listeners to interpret as a story of romantic heartbreak. Released in 1974, How Long climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became an international hit. Although Ace never repeated that level of success in America, Paul Carrack went on to enjoy a long and respected career, performing with Mike Plus the Mechanics, Squeeze, and Eric Clapton. He ultimately became one of the most admired voices in British rock. Number 2. Fallen in Love. Hamilton, Joe Frank and Reynolds. After years of struggling to find another hit, the trio Hamilton, Joe Frank and Reynolds decided to embrace the soft rock sound that was becoming increasingly popular in the mid-1970s. Fallen in Love was written by Dan Hamilton and his songwriting partner, featuring a gentle melody and romantic lyrics that perfectly matched the FM radio format of the time. Released in 1975, the song quickly climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming the biggest success of the group's career. However, their later singles failed to recreate that achievement. Although the trio had enjoyed some earlier success with a different lineup, Fallen in Love remains their only chart-topping hit in the United States, forever linking their name with the title of one-hit wonder. Number 3. Sky High. Jigsaw. Few people know that Sky High was originally written as the theme song for the 1975 action film The Man from Hong Kong. Songwriters Clive Scott and Des Dyer of the British band Jigsaw created an energetic blend of pop and glam rock that made the song stand out from its very first notes. When it was released as a single, Sky High quickly became an international sensation and reached the top 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Its success transformed Jigsaw from a little-known British band into a familiar name on radio stations around the world. However, the group was never able to maintain that momentum in the American market. Although they continued recording albums and performing for years afterward, Sky High remains the defining achievement of Jigsaw's career. Number 4. Lovin' You. Minnie Riperton.
And every day of my life is filled.
Lovin' You was written by Minnie Riperton and her husband Richard Rudolph as a love letter to their young family. To keep their daughter, Maya Rudolph, from interrupting the recording session, they often let her play nearby, and Maya's name was ultimately left in the final recording. With her rare soprano voice and breathtaking whistle register notes, Minnie turned the song into a timeless soul masterpiece. Released in 1975, Lovin' You reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and is still considered one of the greatest vocal performances in pop music history. Although Minnie Riperton continued to earn critical acclaim, she never scored another major hit in America before her passing from breast cancer in 1979, making Lovin' You the enduring legacy of her remarkable career.
Stay with me while we grow old and we will.
Number 5. Magic, Pilot.
Never been away, hey, never seen a day break.
The Scottish band Pilot was formed by musicians David Patten and Billy Lyle, who wanted to create bright, memorable pop songs during the height of the glam rock era. Billy Lyle wrote Magic with an upbeat melody and an irresistibly catchy chorus that immediately grabbed listeners' attention. Released in 1974, the song quickly climbed into the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the most frequently played pop songs on American radio. Although Pilot enjoyed additional success in the United Kingdom, the band never matched that popularity in the United States and is widely remembered there as a one-hit wonder. After the group disbanded, David Patten built a successful career as a respected session musician, working with Alan Parsons Project, Elton John, and many other major artists. Number 6. Dreamweaver, Gary Wright.
I've just closed my eyes again.
After leaving the band Spooky Tooth and spending several years collaborating with other artists, Gary Wright launched a solo career with the goal of creating a completely new sound. The inspiration for Dreamweaver came from the book Autobiography of a Yogi, in which the term Dreamweaver symbolizes the spiritual force that guides the soul beyond life's limitations. Wright chose to build the song almost entirely around synthesizers and keyboards, a bold decision in the mid-1970s. Released in 1975, the song climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became the biggest hit of his career. Although Gary Wright continued writing, recording, and touring for many years, he never achieved another hit of the same magnitude in America, making Dreamweaver the song forever associated with his name.
Cross the highways of fantasy.
Number 7. Love Won't Let Me Wait, Major Harris.
The time is right.
Before finding success as a solo artist, Major Harris had been a member of the soul group The Delphonics, as well as several other R&B acts in Philadelphia. When producer Bobby Eli and songwriter Vinnie Barrett presented him with Love Won't Let Me Wait, Harris was immediately drawn to its passionate lyrics and smooth soul melody. His warm, emotional vocal performance transformed the song into one of the defining slow jams of the 1970s.
I need to have you next to me.
Released in 1975, it reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped the Billboard R&B chart for several weeks. Although Harris continued recording and performing, he was never able to match that level of mainstream success. As a result, Love Won't Let Me Wait remains the signature song of his solo career and the hit most listeners remember him for. Number 8. 18 with a Bullet, Pete Wingfield. Pete Wingfield was already well known in the British music industry as a keyboard player, producer, and session musician long before he became a recording artist. The idea for 18 with a Bullet came from American radio terminology, where a bullet indicated a song that was rapidly climbing the charts. Wingfield turned that concept into a nostalgic rhythm and blues tune inspired by the sound of the 1950s.
Until I'm in your heart, I ain't never gone.
Released in 1975, the song reached the top 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 and stood out thanks to its distinctive vocal style and retro feel. Although he never had another hit as a solo singer, Pete Wingfield enjoyed an outstanding career behind the scenes, producing records and performing with many well-known artists for decades. Number 9. Poetry Man, Phoebe Snow.
You're hiding something sweet, please give it to me.
From the very beginning of her career, Phoebe Snow impressed audiences with her unique blend of folk, jazz, and blues. She wrote Poetry Man while she was still a young artist, drawing inspiration from a deeply emotional relationship that she never publicly identified. With its graceful melody and heartfelt performance, the song quickly connected with adult listeners on FM radio.
The giggling teenage crush that never said to me.
Released in 1975, Poetry Man climbed to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned widespread praise from critics. Although Phoebe Snow continued releasing acclaimed albums and was regarded as one of the finest vocalists of her generation, she never scored another crossover pop hit on the same level, making Poetry Man the defining song of her career.
You make me do.
Number 10. Don't Call Us, We'll Call You, Sugarloaf.
I got your name from a friend of a friend who said he used to work with you.
In the early 1970s, Sugarloaf struggled as record companies repeatedly turned the band down. That frustrating experience inspired bandleader Jerry Corbetta and his songwriting partner to write Don't Call Us, We'll Call You, a witty satire of the music business.
Listen, kid, you pay for the call. You ain't bad, but we heard it all.
Released in 1974, the song stood out with its catchy rock melody and clever lyrics, quickly climbing into the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. The hit brought Sugarloaf back into the spotlight after several quiet years. However, the band was never able to produce another major hit in the United States. Although its members continued writing music and performing, Don't Call Us, We'll Call You remains the song most closely associated with Sugarloaf's career. Number 11. Run, Joey, Run, David Geddes.
Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. He means so much to me.
Run, Joey, Run became one of the most controversial songs of the 1970s because of its tragic, movie-like storyline. Songwriter Paul Vance wrote the song with inspiration from teenage dramas, telling the story of Joey and Julie, two young lovers whose relationship is forbidden by Julie's father, leading to a heartbreaking ending. At the time, David Geddes was still a relatively unknown singer and was chosen to perform the male vocal, while Kim Keys sang the female part.
I've never seen him act this way. My God, he's gone.
Released in 1975, the song unexpectedly climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 thanks to its dramatic storytelling. However, Geddes never matched that success and soon faded from the spotlight. Although his solo career was brief, Run, Joey, Run remains one of the most memorable story songs of the 1970s.
She ran to me with tear-filled eyes and bruises.
Number 12. The Hustle, Van McCoy. In 1975, disco fever was sweeping across America as nightclubs filled with people eager to dance the latest craze known as the hustle. After visiting New York's Adam's Apple nightclub, songwriter and producer Van McCoy became fascinated by the dance and reportedly wrote the song within just a few hours. Featuring its signature piccolo melody, vibrant string arrangement, and irresistible disco rhythm, The Hustle quickly reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned a Grammy Award for Best Pop Instrumental Performance. Although Van McCoy continued to enjoy success as a songwriter and producer for many soul and R&B artists, he never had another major hit as a recording artist. The Hustle remains the defining achievement of his career and one of the most iconic songs of the disco era. Number 13. At 17, Janis Ian.
And those of us with ravaged faces.
Janis Ian wrote At 17 based on her own experiences with loneliness, insecurity, and feeling like an outsider during her teenage years. Rather than following the disco or rock trends of the time, the song won listeners over with its gentle acoustic melody and deeply honest lyrics.
Remember those who win the game they lose.
Released in 1975, it climbs to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned Janis Ian a Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Although she had already gained recognition earlier with Society's Child, she never achieved another hit with the same level of mainstream success. Even so, Janice Ian continued to earn the respect of critics and fellow musicians, becoming one of the most admired singer-songwriters of the 1970s.
We dare to cheat ourselves, it's our tale.
Number 14. The Homecoming, Hey Good Hardy. Before becoming widely known, Hey Good Hardy was a Canadian pianist and composer best recognized for writing music for television and commercials. He composed The Homecoming as an emotional instrumental piece that captured a sense of peace and nostalgia. When it was released in 1975, the song quickly became a favorite on radio stations and grew into the biggest success of his career, reaching the top 10 on Billboard's Adult Contemporary chart. After that breakthrough, Hardy continued composing music for Canadian television and film, but none of his later works achieved the same international recognition. As a result, The Homecoming remains the signature recording of his musical career. Number 15. The Rockford Files theme, Mike Post. In 1975, composer Mike Post wrote the Rockford Files theme as the opening music for the television series of the same name. With its energetic melody, prominent synthesizers, and modern arrangement, the instrumental immediately caught the audience's attention. Released as a single, it climbed into the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned Mike Post a Grammy Award. The song launched an extraordinary career in television music, leading him to compose themes for hit series such as Hill Street Blues, Magnum P.I., and Law and Order. Although Mike Post became one of America's most successful television composers, the Rockford Files theme remains his only major hit on the Billboard Pop chart as a recording artist. Those were 10 forgotten one-hit wonders from 1975 that still deserve to be remembered. Which song brought back the best memories for you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, be sure to like, subscribe, and join us for more timeless classics from music's golden era.